It's Anya Divine here. Welcome, welcome. You're on the door, so it's moving a bit. I'm going to draw this iris. This is an interesting experience now for me. I would maybe say an interesting experiment. I wasn't feeling like really drawing or doing anything. I just wanted to kind of have my lunch and, make something nice for myself, go to a cafe then maybe and do a bit of writing. And I was listening to an interview with an artist, or kind of a creator called Sark. It's an abbreviated name, it's weird, but anyway, she said, start, one of her ideas for creators is to start small and just take tiny steps. And I thought, look, I'll take one flower out of there. I did yesterday feel like doing the whole bunch and everything, but I thought I'd just take one flower out and put the colours on the table and do something simple, small, and just a tiny step. And I kind of don't have any, well, that wouldn't be completely true. I was going to say I don't have any attachment to the outcome. It's always sailing around in the background, but the main intention here is to experiment with this feeling of not wanting to do something and still getting my hands into it and see what happens. So it might be that I'll finish with the same spirit of, okay, I didn't really want to do that and it was all right. Or something else might occur, I don't know, let's see. Anyway, there's something quite nice about just getting my hands into the paint, and talking to you is nice. So straight away I do feel a little bit more of a surge of energy there now. Oh look, that's a very dark colour, isn't it? Where's my kitchen paper? Here. Right, so straight away I'm being urged towards thinking laterally. And I'm just going to use the kitchen paper with water on it to spread that colour out, so it maybe becomes a bit more true to what's there. Yeah, so already I had a little idea of what I might do, and this, in a good sense, is not at all what I had thought I would do. So in a good sense, because I think anything premeditated can limit us. So I feel quite happy to have been forced into doing something very different from what the plan was. The plan was to move the paint with my hands or something. I had some idea that I would do that, and then I had some collage paper for the yellow. Now what will I do next? I suppose I could try and create the shape of the iris through lifting out with the brush the spaces in between. And I quite like this, the fact that it's going that way. It feels like it's a good idea for the brush marks too to go that way. Maybe I could even pull them back a bit here so it's actually quite a big flower I'm making, isn't it? Okay, and I'll put the cover on that now because I think we have enough of that. Or maybe I'll put a touch more, just so that there's something to eat into. And for the darker bit where it's emerging out as well. I mean, this actually is a very colourful purple. It's quite densely pigmented, so and very colourful, so it's kind of drawing attention to itself. I might mute it with a little bit of its opposite if I need to later on. The opposite would be yellow on the colour wheel, Right, so I'm going to find the gaps in between the petals best I can in order to see if I can create the character of the iris. As I say now, it mightn't work at all here. But to be honest, I'm kind of already feeling glad that I started, because it's got a certain energy about it that's making me move differently. Yeah. Let's turn that down a little bit. I've got a pile of books underneath to raise up that end How's the drawing board? When I say drawing board, it's a sketchbook really. Okay, so that's that. Right, I'm going to get some green. Got some wallpaper from B&Q there. You can get samples of wallpaper, you know. And yeah, I think that colour is quite good for the stem of the iris. Just stick that down. I thought there was a bit of a funny shine on the surface, so I wanted to move you, but I think I'm only going to cause ructions if I do that. Right, so just a little bit of the feeling of the shooting up stem, because I think there's something quite clear in the iris about that kind of thrust that way and then the bursting open. So there's that feeling like that Dylan Thomas says, the force that through the green fuse drives the flower. So that it feels like that kind of clarity of that direction is important there for this stem. I'm not happy that it's all shiny and what you're seeing, but you know, we get there anyway. Hopefully it'll be. I'm not going to start fiddling around with the position that the camera is in now. Right, how to describe the. I think I want to give a bit more, like something, yeah, a richer kind of feeling to the surface of the iris petal there. I didn't anticipate making it so big. It's interesting. So I've got the stencils here, and I think actually what I want to do is create some more to create some more kind of a feeling of pattern or more interest. Let's see, on this petal that's so close to me here. So this is the stencil that my print. What I've just put on there, I might just print on that side. It's not quite as clear, the pattern on that side. Oh, I don't think you can see it all. And maybe, what would I do up there now? I think the circular edge of the stencil seems to me like it would work for putting some of this lighter purple along the edge of the stencil to describe the crisp light edge that hits the iris petal there. Yeah, it's okay. All right, now what about the yellow? I had thought originally that I might use this yellow collage paper to describe the tongue of yellow that's, maybe the one that's coming towards us here could be described in collage. There. And I think I might do another little shape of something from the stencil to describe that other petal that's sticking up there. I try to resist drawing it predictably and see if I can find other ways of explaining things. It feels like it engages something more fascinating, more satisfying in my own practice if I do that as well, like rather than just kind of draw the outline of the thing. I might end up drawing the outline, but in this instance now after saying that, but you'd never know. I feel like there's one petal there it's got an unusual shape and it's quite light at the edge, and I think it might be helpful to do that there, just to get that feeling of the edge of it quite clearly. And there's a little frivolous bit that sits back. I think I might find a plant. I might find a shape. A little frivolous bit that flicks back. I want to find a cavity that does that rather than the... Let me see. Sorry, I'm starting sentences and not finishing them. I just want to find the right turn. There's a shape here that looks to me to be a little bit like that quality that I'm looking for. Maybe there'll be another little bit there. It's okay, yeah. And I'll just smooth that down a little as we come down to the other flower. Okay. All right, let's see how we go with that. I'll just get rid of this. I don't think there's anywhere else really that I want to put the rest of that purple, is there? Maybe the lip of that. Oh, made a pretty big lip. I could just lift it off with a brush. And yeah, help me to make the curl that I'm really seeing there. There's a curl of it coming into the light. Quite a frivolous, frilly little edge. Okay, and there's nothing frivolous, you know, well I suppose it's a dancing kind of flower, but it's not like, you know, it's got a strength and power to it too, doesn't it? The iris. Right. What would happen now if I tear a few shapes and see if I can find one that really gets the quality of the tongue, that tongue of yellow. That's what it feels like to me. Oh, I think that's Erin Home maybe. I'm just going to quickly put in something there, and then I think I'll paint the other yellow bit. I'm going to have to tear it to really get it to follow the direction I want it to go in. There. The one at the back looks to me to be a slightly darker yellow, but I think I want to do that with, maybe I'll just do it with this actually. Whoa. I wanted to see what it looked like. It's a good colour, but it's very runny, so if I do it up there it'll run down. I don't want that happening. We don't have to have a complete picture, do we? It's just to kind of get me moving and pass the barrier of feeling like I didn't want to do something. Turns out I'm feeling quite energized actually. So there's that. And maybe, I don't know why I want to do that. It feels like it's going against my better judgment, but sometimes it's good to just do stuff that's actually for fun and to experiment. So that was a bit of pink alcohol ink. What now? I have a yearning to grab a piece of chalk and use that to outline things. I'm not sure I really want to. Do I want to outline? I think I want to create. Yeah, I want to create a petal here for that one that's really shooting up. Maybe even just the bottom half actually, because I like that dark bit there. Okay, yeah, so I'll use the bottom half. And then I let the dark bit sit on its own, and then I'll use this as the top half where it's just jutting out over the edge of the paper. So I don't lose that lovely dark diagonally thrusting bit there. So I keep saying the word thrust. I think Miranda, if you watch Miranda on the BBC, or did watch, it was a sitcom, comedy sitcom. Man, she used to enjoy the sound of words, and I remember her kind of laughing about the word thrust and saying it so many times it kind of lost its meaning. So I don't know why I'm saying it a lot today, but it feels like there's a certain thrust in the iris that wants to be explained here. So the reason I'm getting a different piece for there is because I felt like that wasn't dark enough. I don't know if this is either, but let's see if I can find maybe there's a different piece of paper that wants to be the top of that petal. Yeah, you know, I got this paper for pasting onto the wall, really, just on the studio. I thought it'd be nice to have these colourful patterns, and now I'm tearing them up and using them for collage. But sure, I can go back and get some more maybe. There was one with a hummingbird I thought would be lovely on the wall, just in the studio, you know. Right. Nah, that's not a good colour, is it? It's too dull altogether, and a bit thick as well. I don't know what about this, but somehow that pink wants to be in here somewhere. Why not? And I could always put a little injection of the purple onto it to let it be similar to what's there already. You can't, yeah, it's annoying, isn't it, that shine? Look, there's better. Okay, as long as I'm not in your way now. So I'm just trying to bring that pink a bit more into the colour scheme of what we've got here. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of sporadic bits and pieces stuck on, and I think I'm wanting to do just oh, I did the tongue of yellow there. Okay, so what next now? I feel like I am wanting to pin down somehow, or to clarify some edges. So yeah, I'm going to get my box of chalks here. Hopefully they work. Sometimes the chalks don't really work on this paper, but they might work on the acrylic paint. Okay, so I've got this box of chalks from Claire. Thank you, Claire. And I'm going to find ways to explain the edge of the iris flower using these chalks that aren't completely the colour, but they're in the mix somewhere. These pinks and blues. And maybe I want to, I suppose I could put a bit of yellow in there too. I was thinking that maybe I want to use a dark colour to properly outline, but I think what I could do there is maybe just get the ink. Gosh, it feels very full. I must have filled up my ink. I don't remember doing that. Yeah, do you see, to create some bit more of clarity at the edge there, I'm just going to use some ink. I want to be careful not to go over parts that I really love, just for the sake of outlining. Let's see. But I want to capture the character of this lovely kind of undulating, it's almost like a sexy kind of plant, isn't it? It's got the Georgia O'Keeffe kind of quality of voluptuousness or something. The iris. I'm not sure I'm doing it full justice in that respect here, but it's becoming a statement about the iris for me anyway, whether it comes across or not. I feel that I'm capturing something that I'm noticing about the plant. That has maybe got very little to do with its botanical, footprint, DNA, or like the physical nature of it, but has, I hope, a feeling of its essence somehow. Whatever that is, it's a funny word to use, isn't it? Essence, but I hope that I feel like for me it feels satisfying in my belly that there's something occurring here that's more than about the physical nature of the plant, but has got a bit of its vigor and willingness to thrive. Something like that. And then maybe a touch of a bit more green, maybe, to enhance the direction that way. Right, let's see. There we are. Do you know what? It was interesting to play anyway. I'll take it around there and you might see some bit of a semblance of there might be some recognition from a distance that that's kind of what I was focusing on. Can you see? You can't really. There you have it. And that's it, up close. And when I say there you have it, you didn't really get to see it from a distance because the table's in the way. But yeah, there's something in there that feels iris-like to me. I can understand there being a question around it though, so don't feel obliged to see what it is that I'm determined to see myself. Okay, thanks for joining me. So it was a good experiment, wasn't it? I mean, very playful is what that was, really. It's got a bit of everything in there. See the ink, the yellow ink is dripping down there. But somehow it felt alive to me and more of a process than if I was to sit and draw, more what I wanted to do than to sit and draw it exactly today. I just felt like things, I'm not in the spirit of really being curious, or it didn't feel like I was really wanting to, at first glance I didn't feel so interested to paint the single iris, but I certainly didn't want to do the big bunch. And then once I started, something ignited inside me, and maybe you could feel it through the screen as well. There was this kind of, oh yeah, look, that's gone all wrong. Now I'll have to do something different. And in the doing something different, there's a kind of a spirit of playfulness that arises, I suppose, and all the bags of stuff I had around me started to come into play, and the potential of everything in those bags, and what could I use to save the day. And in the end, saving the day didn't matter so much as the play itself. So there we have it. I didn't know these things, anyway, that's what I did. That's what I did today. So maybe you can look around you and see something uninspiring, and then find that when you start to make some response to it, especially getting dirty, like using your hands and colour, that maybe you'll find there's a little flicker of excitement and energy about that, and that it might take you into playful territory. Saved by the bell. Right. See you tomorrow, maybe, or someday soon.